Hello and welcome back to So Very Christy, Beauticians and Musicians. I'm Christy Phillips, your show host, and I love to interview, obviously, beauticians and musicians, people who are in the beauty industry and people who are in the music industry. And most of the musicians are local, and I'm very, very excited about my guest today. His name is Dwayne Heggar, and he's the bass player from Emerald City. He's an OG. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Christy. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Thanks for allowing me to be on your show.
Oh my gosh, I've been wanting you to be on my show for a long time, and we work out together. Well, not together, but at Lifetime, and we kept seeing each other. I'm like, hey, you should be on my show, and then finally here we are. We're able to coordinate it, and I'm so happy you're here.
Well, thank you.
And I know I'm dying to talk about the old days, because back in the old days, I used to go see these guys every week. Me and Debbie Hanley. Debbie, if you're out there, you need to shout out to Dwayne and the rest of the crew, because we were diehard fans back when y'all were at Broadway Grill.
Oh, yeah, I call those the good old days.
Good old
Everything
days.
was really good back then.
Yeah, it was so
Everything.
much fun seeing you guys then, and it was packed. I mean, you couldn't even walk in there, And I know you've got some great things going on now, and a lot of changes that have happened over the years, and
Yeah.
really, Emerald City stood the test of time.
Yeah, we've been blessed and fortunate to withstand all the things. We've gone through a lot of things, and every band does. But with great leadership of Dino, it helped out because he's a very strong-minded guy, and he knows what he's doing. And so it was his will that the band keeps going.
Yeah, and he's a great entertainer too.
Yes.
And all you guys are. I mean, they put on such a great show.
Yeah.
And well, before we get into all of that, tell us, like how old were you when you started music? Has it always been like there since you were a little kid?
Yeah, actually, my family, every family member was involved in music, and so I just happened to embellish into it. When I started bass guitar playing, my brother was playing drums, and he asked me. Actually, he didn't ask me. He told me. He said, "Man, you need to play bass."
Yeah, older brother.
Older brother.
Yeah.
He was a drummer, and I said, "Man, I don't want to play this thing," And so he bought it for me, and I tried for about a month or two, and it hurt my hands. I put it down, and then probably another 2 months later, I picked it back up and decided I'm gonna stick with it. So that's kind of the story about that.
Yeah, and then, so the strings are a little soft. I mean, I've attempted to learn the guitar, and I didn't stick with it, but that really hurt my hands.
Yes.
The bass, I played a little bit in a country band way back, and I'm not great or anything like that. I don't even know if I could do it now. I guess I could pick it up, but it hurt a little bit less. So I was like, I like this better, But you're an amazing bass player. I mean,
Thank you.
you can pretty much play anything.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's awesome. So I know we've talked kind of at the gym here a little bit in there, and so you write music and you also teach.
Yes, I do. Yes, I've been teaching probably over 24 or 5 years here in the Metroplex. I've taught a lot of people. I mean, just about everybody from who's who. I mean, we're talking lawyers and doctors and pro athletes and just normal people.
Yeah.
And I like doing that for many reasons. One of them to establish a relationship with everybody, and it's kind of it's pretty cool to do that. Besides just teaching them. But then the big thing about it is to watch them develop as a bass player after I taught them, and that's a joy for me. I mean, I have students living in the East Coast, West Coast, up north, down south.
So you do
As
it
far
over
as-
Skype or FaceTime?
Oh
or
no.
something?
These people that took lessons from me at a younger age here in
Oh,
Dallas,
okay.
then they moved to New York
Oh.
and they moved to Wisconsin and Seattle, Washington, and L.A. and down in Florida and down south here in Austin and and here in Texas. So
Yeah, that's awesome. And so you're
I
still
keep up
doing
with 'em,
that?
yeah.
Yeah. And do you teach songwriting? Or you song? How long have you been writing songs?
Songwriting has been a part of everything else as I've been getting older and stuff, and so I've been doing that for a while too.
That's awesome. So, well, I need to hear one of your songs.
Yeah, you do. You need to record one of my songs.
I do. That would be awesome. We need to talk about that for sure.
Yes, we will.
I love it. I love it. Well, tell us, what's going on with you these days. So I know you guys have the OG people, and you have the bands. I've been calling them the branches. And what are some of those?
Okay, let's talk
How
about
did
that.
that happen?
Okay, so Emerald City always been a one of the big bands here in Dallas. I would say probably the main band that people go to. And so what happened was our calendar kept getting filled up every year. And so when people called Dino, hey man, I want to book you guys, we were always booked. And so instead of giving our work to our competitors, Dino decided to develop one band, or put together one band. And we saw how successful that was. So then as things went on, he wanted to grow other bands too. So that's kind of how it happened.
So you got Downtown Fever,
Limelight,
Party
Machine, and a new band called Elevation.
Yes. So they just started. Or is that how new?
Probably about 5 months.
5 months. That's awesome.
And they're doing really, really well.
That's great.
Yeah.
Man, that's a lot of work out. There's a lot of work going out there, and I guess the economy's pretty good these days.
Yeah, yes it is. Yes, it is.
It's getting better.
It's getting better. It's getting better. There's one point probably 5-6 years ago it kind of took a dive, but then it kind of came back up.
Was that 2008?
Maybe.
For us,
maybe.
when I was in a band, a signature band, it was 2008, I think, and it was just like, even for hair, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't depend on these people, you know?
It may have been 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, and then it's not been like that since, but it's gotten better even recently, I think.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what would you say would be like one of your fondest memories of being in Emerald City Band?
Fondest memory. I don't know. It's been a lot of them. People always ask me, "Hey man, what's your favorite song that y'all do?" I was like, "I don't know. We do so many. I have no idea." What's been in your favorite place to play? Well, I don't know. We play so many places. I don't. But I think one of them, the one that sticks out to me, is probably the White House. Playing for President Bush for 2 years.
I think we have a picture of you guys too. Now, is this pretty recent?
That's year number 2 right there. Year 2. So we went the year before that one, and that was fun.
That was at the
White
first
House. Time, that's in the White House.
I see. Okay.
That's in the White House.
Yeah.
And so year number 1, we didn't know what to expect. We went there. We were kind of nervous. How they gonna react to us? We were just kind of nervous. But then when they had a great time that night, that's why we came back the next year, because they had a great time that night. We're talking about congressmen, senators. I think that year, or the year
was
before.
Was that George Bush?
That was George Bush.
I was squinting. I was like
George Bush. So the year that we went to the White House, I think it was people were running for election. So the same people that we saw, especially in Texas, because I saw them at the White House.
Yeah.
The same people we saw bashing each other, like, don't vote for him, he's a crook.
But they're hanging out.
They're hanging out.
They're actually kind of friends.
Hanging out like best friends.
Yeah.
I go, look at that. That's something.
That's a good feeling to see that. I'm like, hey, I'm on the inside.
They were just laughing and joking, carrying on. I go, man, you just got done matching this guy a couple months ago on publicly. So
they were able to put that away. Have a good time and come together.
Yeah.
Because music does that, though. I mean, from the biggest to the smallest event, it could be a certain energy, and then you start singing or playing, and it changes everything.
Yeah. During the night, when Dino announced, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome President Bush. And him and his wife came down. They did the first dance. It was like a slow song.
Yeah.
And then from that point on, we started doing fast stuff, and they started dancing and having a good time. And then we did Love Train. And so they did the Love Train dance.
Did they do a Love Train?
Through the White House.
I love it.
And when we got done, people said, man, that's never happened in this White House. That's never happened.
Oh,
It's
wow.
the first time it ever happened. And so that was, that was pretty big for them to tell us that. And so the next year they brought us back again. And so year number 2, it wasn't, we weren't as nervous.
Right.
We knew what to expect. And so, because once you walk in the White House, once you get in there, now before you get in there, you have to go through a lot of security. First of all, 4 or 5 months before, you got to send in your information. They do a background check, all that stuff. Screen you. So then when you get there, when you get to the gate, they gotta go through all your stuff, check your X-ray, all the stuff. And then you gotta walk another 5 yards, and they do it again.
Oh wow!
They do it again.
So you got to get there early.
Yeah. And so after the second time, when you went through when you went through there, so you're free. So you can go in there and you can walk around. Nobody say anything to you. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that
And
is
then when you walk
awesome.
in, you see all these pictures on the wall. It's like pretty much like an old house
Yeah,
per
pretty
se.
amazing. That's awesome. What's
But
another place that's like that you've played like that? That's
hello.
out of the ordinary.
Oh,
Is your
I lost my ears, but it's okay.
okay?
Uh, um,
Wiggle the deal, a little cord maybe.
I don't think oh, there it is. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. I would say probably. I don't know. They all been the same after that.
Yeah,
Everything else
that was
is
like the
same.
biggest, like totally different. Because after a while, I mean, you don't get nervous. Most of
Right.
the time.
Oh, I never get nervous.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we just finished playing a wedding reception for the girl from Housewives of Dallas.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Now Dwayne and I talked about
Leanne
this.
Lockton.
Oh, you got her, Leanne. Okay.
Leanne, yes.
Yeah.
And so, that was a big event. Cameras everywhere, security everywhere. People that were there were celebrities of Dallas. That was,
Are
that
they
was-
showing a clip of that on the
They would
show?
show that. They would show that episode in the fall.
Oh, cool.
So we'll be on the Housewives of Dallas in the fall.
Sweet.
We'll advertise that so everybody can know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was no big deal about that one because it was just people that we knew and just a regular routine wedding that
Yeah.
we do. Because we do a lot of weddings too.
Right. Weddings are fun though.
Yeah, they're
Everybody's
fun.
in a good mood.
Yeah, yeah.
And y'all are in the good part versus like if I do hair and makeup, that's the stressful part.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's like, we're having fun, having champagne, blah, blah, or they are. And then when it gets close to needing to be ready, you're just trying to hoof it,
Right, right.
But then y'all are like, everybody's like, woo, it's over. It went great as usual because it always comes together no matter what.
It's funny. We've done it so much. We know what to do when we walk in, know how to
Read
start
it.
it, know how to finish it. But the coordinators, some of the coordinators, man, they get a little uptight. And
Yeah.
So when they get real uptight,
Yeah,
they
you
kind of
gotta-
make us uptight a little
Right.
bit.
I've experienced that.
And we should, they should know. We've been doing this for a long time. We know what to do.
Right.
We know what songs to play. We know what to get people dancing.
And you know how to read the crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean-
You see older people in the crowd, we play older songs.
Mm-hmm.
For younger people in the crowd, play newer songs, stuff like that. So we already know that. So
Yeah.
the wedding coordinators kind of like chill out a little bit because we've been doing it for a while. So
Do you find that if you play like the extremely new songs, people don't dance as much as if they're just a little bit older?
You're exactly right.
I mean, isn't that weird?
It's
I mean,
weird.
It's crazy. Even younger people, like I've found, like
Well, let's talk about that. For a
Okay.
second. Let's talk about that. So, there's been a change in the music industry. The way songs are written, the way songs are produced. And I think it has an effect, it has an impact on how people interpret songs to dance to and not dance to.
right,
Now, back in our day, every song that came out that has a groove to it, it
Yeah.
also has good chord progressions, good bass lines,
Right.
and good drum feel.
Right.
But nowadays, everything is so simple, it's just straight. Two or three chords at the most.
yeah,
Probably no bridge.
tons of effects.
Tons of effects. Tons of effects. No bridge. It breaks down. It then goes back, hooks out.
Right,
So that's not really musical. So if you try to take one of those songs today and put it on the table back in the day, people will say, record company will say, no, it's not good enough.
right, right.
But now it's accepted. And so that has an impact, I think, even when you're playing live, the type of songs that you play. I
And
think
some songs-
old school
yeah.
is the way to go in the beginning,
Yeah.
and then you insert the new songs.
You can insert here and there, but you really got to keep it, like even, I don't know how old, I mean, like every time when I used to play in a band like you guys, it was like, if you played Car Wash, people would be like, oh my God.
People love
They're
Car
still
Wash.
like that, right?
People still love Car Wash.
I know. Now those songs, I mean, in any of those 70s and
Mm-hmm,
80s, and you could insert a rock song here and a Lady Gaga song there, but you still got to
Mm-hmm, Exactly. No,
throw
you're
in a
right.
ton of that driving.
You're right. Absolutely right. No
Yeah.
argument there. And so
Yes.
that's one of the things you have to do as a band to be successful. Is select your songs. Song selection is very important.
Oh yeah.
So
and even the order of it. But you got to kind of,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that takes experience,
Yes,
being
it
able
does.
to read the crowd.
It does.
And not just keep going with what you've got written.
Exactly.
You know, and
Exactly.
so now we're talking like how to be successful
Exactly.
in the music industry.
Exactly.
If you're, a band that's trying to get going, or, like you guys, a party band, I guess,
Yes.
private events and stuff like that.
Yes. Yes. It's not easy. First of all, it's not easy.
And it's a huge
It's not
repertoire.
easy.
It's a huge
Yes.
repertoire of songs you've got to build on.
Right. Right. But people always ask us, man, well, how do you put a band together like y'all? So what do you, I think it starts with the right personnel, the right chemistry, the right mindset. I think it's all in the same category.
Right.
You got to be on the same page. You got to be like, if you think of like the marching band. Now, when you're in the marching band, everybody dressed alike. Mm-hmm. You have to like walk straight up and down. I mean, you have to, your posture had to be straight up and down, your head straight up. And then you have to walk the same way. When you step off, you got to step off the same way, and then your foot has to hit the jaw line. And so that concept is the same way about a band. You got to be in the same mindset of doing things together, not independently. Mm-hmm. Now, what has happened? Team. So what has happened is when American Idol came out, when American Idol came out, that whole concept went down the drain because that all that does is represent you as an individual, not as a team.
Right.
So there's no team concept in American Idol.
Right.
Zero.
And it's a machine.
Right.
I mean, I just, to even win is not even really the best thing about that.
You mean American Idol?
To win American Idol, because you're so locked down.
I think it's all about exposure.
Yeah.
I know a lot of friends who've been on that show. Mm-hmm. It's all about the exposure, but at the same time, it's the mindset. So when the first girl won season 1, everybody thought, well, she did it, I can do it. Mm-hmm. I'm going on American Idol. I'm going to be just like her. Who was it? Kelly Clarkson?
Kelly. And it's all about TV,
Right.
and getting people to watch it. It's not even really about what we consider a musician or music industry so much.
Right.
It may turn into that for them.
Right.
But I feel like it's more about Hollywood.
Exactly. Exactly.
And silly, stupid stuff.
Right.
That I'm just like, it's hard to watch sometimes.
But again, back to that concept of the individually trying to promote yourself or doing things on your own. It keeps you from having a team mindset. So then when you get people in the band, sometimes they don't want to jive like you. They don't want to do things like you. They want to do things individually. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't work.
Right.
All of a sudden, then you notice they're not in the band anymore because they don't know how to gel with everybody else. So that's important, having the same mindset, same chemistry.
And then I think that starts like how you were raised, really.
Right.
A lot of times. Because,
exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
like, my parents were like, and, when I was in grade school, I'm too short to do it in high school, but in grade school, I played basketball and a lot of team sports. And then I was like, well, and that's when I kind of really got into music even more because I let that go. But they were like, even if I thought, I don't really want to do this, I don't like it as much as I thought, they're like, nope, that's your team. They instilled that in me.
Right.
You cannot let people are counting on you.
Exactly.
Even if you're whatever A, B player or whatever, people are counting on you. You're not going to quit. You're going to finish this season,
right.
and then next season you can decide.
Right.
So that was instilled in me as a kid, and I think if people aren't that way, it has to be deeper than just how they act as a young adult or whatever.
Right. You're right. That's been an element that's changed everything. Bob, what you're saying, it's not happening today. And that kind of goes into every category.
Right. And you got to be coachable and teachable.
Teachable.
And not think you know it all.
Exactly.
At any age.
Exactly.
At any age.
It's funny that you even mentioned that. People, we get questions asked all the time about everybody. Mm-hmm. And so they're just curious. And so there's one female person who actually, she's the wife of one of the mayors that we're associated with. We're associated with Dallas mayor,
Right.
Frisco mayor,
Right.
Allen mayor, Prosper. McKinney. They're friends of ours. And so one of those wives, I'm not going to mention her name,
Okay.
but she asked me, she said, so do the young guys in your band try to argue with you guys about things that y'all already know? I said, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
You know, she said, well, why would they do that? Because you guys have been doing this for so long. You already know the ins and outs of everything. Why do they want to argue? I said, well, I think it's a millennial thing. I'm not for sure. I'm not for sure.
Yeah.
I was even told one time that I think I know too much. I think I know everything. I was told that by one of the youngsters one time.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you just think you know everything. I said, well, I've been here a while. I've kind of experienced everything that you're talking about right now. I've been there and done that. So
Right.
it didn't hurt my feelings.
I mean, if you see somebody that's doing well,
right.
just do what they do.
Exactly.
And then, of course, as a leader, you're going to learn things from someone younger. There's going to be something, no matter who you are.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
We don't. When they come up with an opinion, we just don't shut them down. We listen to it, and then
Right.
we take what they say, and we just don't. We don't disrespect them that way.
Right, of course. Yeah, I just, I don't know if it's a millennial thing. I mean, I see people of all ages that are coachable, and they're not, know. And so I guess it just depends, and I do think it is how you're raised.
And I think it's in everything too, not just in bands, but also
it's
sports.
in everything.
Sports.
It's in everything.
Especially sports. Back in my day, you didn't talk back to a coach. My coach would say,
Oh, I know.
get your butt down there and run,
Right.
or whatever. You didn't talk back to a coach, but nowadays they talk back to coaches and,
I know.
want to argue with them.
Yeah.
We can open our mouth.
Everything's too sensitive.
Very.
We got spankings.
Exactly. Spankings. Oh,
We got
spankings.
or we called it paddlings. I'm from the country,
Spankings.
and we got
Whipping,
paddled.
paddled, yeah.
We got nobody was
That means-
abused. Nobody was abused.
That means we kind of feared doing things
We're
wrong.
like, I don't want to go to the hall.
Exactly. Exactly. See, you can't do that anymore.
No.
So that's problem number
I mean,
38.
it's like, I don't know, this timeout thing. I don't know how well that works. But anyway,
That
that's a
doesn't
whole
work.
nother
That
show
doesn't work.
on parenting.
Exactly.
Which is probably not my topic.
I want to be involved in that too. I want to be involved in that
Maybe
show.
we'll have a panel. We'll bring Jen's back because
Yeah.
that would definitely
Please,
be
I want to
a
be in
good
that
one.
panel. I want to be because I have a lot to say on that issue.
Yes, absolutely. So you're a parent.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, sir. I have a daughter getting ready to graduate next week from Stephen F. Austin. So.
Wow, that's awesome. Very good.
Yes.
Very good. That's incredible. Well,
So, Christy,
Yeah.
question. So, where exactly are you from?
I'm from Idabel, Oklahoma.
Idabel. Where's that?
Southeastern Oklahoma. It's like about 2.5 hours, like Paris, Texas, and you take a farm road, and then,
Okay.
then you're there.
So you know about coming from a small town?
Very small.
Because I came from a small town.
Oh, you did?
Population 6,000.
Okay.
What was yours?
Back then, I don't know, but we didn't even have a McDonald's.
Oh, we didn't even.
We just had a Dairy Queen.
We had a Dairy Queen.
They've grown. I was just asking my mom, I think, because she still lives there. My brother still lives there. And I believe it might be around 10. I could be wrong. but it's-
10,000?
Maybe. Because I just saw when I was driving my mom back through Bonham, and, it's about 10. I think I saw a sign. So it might be about that size. I'm not sure. We do have a 24-hour Walmart, so.
We do
Grown.
too. We have
It's
a
grown.
Walmart. The Walmart down in Mahia, Texas.
Yeah.
Walmart.
So what's
Dairy
the small
Queen.
town?
Mahia, Texas.
Mahia, I've heard of that.
MEXIA. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where Anna Nicole Smith is from.
Okay.
Remember her?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Among other people.
Yeah.
Yes. Made that town famous.
Yeah, Idabel. I don't know anyone that's made Idabel famous. But it is a little bit, people know, actually, what's kind of making it more known is Beaver's Bend. And a lot of people go camping, or they not camping, but they get a log cabin there. My brother just opened a zip line. It's kind of growing like crazy up there.
Oh, really?
Broken Bow Lake.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a beautiful lake. So that's kind of making the area a little more known, but it is very small. I liked growing up in a small town. I think there was a lot of more safe and values, and we didn't really know the things that were available as far as opportunities go. Like for me singing, for instance, I didn't
Right.
really start that until I got here. I moved here at 17, but didn't really. I just went to college because I thought, well, that's what you do.
Yeah.
So I went to school for music at SMU, and then after that, I found other things that I could do because pop music would be more my thing, not opera.
Right. So now I've seen you before, you know, back in the day. I remember you. You can't forget a face like yours. So.
Oh, well, thank you.
But didn't really know you. But I was then introduced to you by Linda Stepien. So now tell me that tie between you and Linda. How did she?
Let's see. How
how'd y'all
did
hook up?
I meet her? I was trying to think the other day. Like someone told me about her, and I auditioned to sing for her, or teach with her, and she didn't have Septine Entertainment then. She was just.
Oh, it's way back in the
She
day.
was at her house in Plano, and she had a little house outside the house, and I started taking lessons there.
Oh, okay.
And then she's the one that introduced me to George Anderson, and I
Okay.
sang in that band. And then I was in a country band, and that was something else. Before that, it was original music. I did that for a couple of years. And what else after that? Then I've gone back to Linda a couple of times because I kind of get away from music, and then because I'm a hairdresser, I've been doing that for 30 years. And I'd go back to Linda, and then she's like, well, you don't really need me anymore. You've got all the technique. Let's find you somewhere to be singing all the time. And then she introduced me to George. I auditioned for his band, did that. And then I went back to Linda again. And then I kind of got away from it for a long time, like 9 years or so, maybe 10. And I was just like losing my voice, and I didn't like that feeling. I didn't know if I wanted to do anything with it per se, but I didn't want to lose it. So that's when I went back to her.
You say you were losing your voice?
Yeah, like
How do you feel like you're losing your voice?
I wasn't using it.
Oh, you weren't using it. Oh, okay.
Not losing, just the singing.
Oh,
You know, I was like, ugh.
Okay.
You know, I'd be like, humming along, you know, like, ugh. You know, I wasn't liking how weak it had gotten, you know, where I could used to do different things. And,
okay.
you know, you're just going to use it if you don't lose it. And I was not using it at all. When I got out of the band with George, I just kind of got away from it and went through whatever and just got away from it. And then I guess it's been 2.5, well, maybe 3 now, years ago, I went back to Linda and started studying with her again. Just because I knew I wasn't going to get it in shape on my own. And so that's how that happened. And so now I'm doing stuff and started this and never knew I was going to do this. And this is fun. And it's an outlet. And I'm recording some songs in the studio. And so it's a blast.
Awesome. Yeah, I was wondering about that connection. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Linda. I've known her for, I don't know, since I'm at early 20s.
Okay. Awesome.
How did y'all meet?
I know I'm good friends with her ex-husband, Jeff. And Jeff was telling me about his ex-wife, got a music company. She trains people, blah, 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 blah. I kind of heard about Linda because of, what's the girl name she made famous?
Demi
No, the girl from
or Jessica. Jessica Simpson.
So I kind of knew about it from that point, but Jeff Blacker is his name, Jeff Blacker.
Right.
Told me about her. He said, "Man, I think you'd be good working with her because she needs somebody like you, experienced, blah 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 blah." And so I
right, because I initially actually met you was when I was at a lesson, and Linda called you from there, and we sent some stuff over. Remember?
Yeah.
That's exactly how.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah.
And then I started seeing you guys, you and Dino, at the gym all the time.
Right. But yeah. So that's kind of how I knew Linda.
She's a great lady, and she's such a great teacher too, vocal coach.
Yeah.
And friend, you know, over the years we've become friends, and we'd have to watch how much we'd start talking because we could just sit there and visit, you know, for 15 minutes.
Right.
But that's expensive, 15 minutes. So I'd be like, okay, you know, we're both a little ADD, so we could go, pew, you know, at any given moment. Well, gotcha. I just enjoyed having you on the show so much, and you have to come back.
You mean my time's up already?
Well,
oh my goodness,
almost. I mean,
it's already 30 minutes.
It flies. I know.
I was
totally
having fun. I haven't even finished yet.
Oh well, tell me what else.
No. I mean,
we have a few more minutes.
No, because I gotta hear you sing. By the way.
Okay.
But you know, it's funny. The Dallas Morning News did an article on Emerald City 35-year anniversary, and I kind of gave the editor, the girl, some information that she didn't put in there. A lot of stuff got left out. Dino and I was on the Scott Mary show back in December, and a lot of stuff got left out. Then we was on the May Lee Thomas show not too long ago, and a lot of stuff got left out. So I got to come back on here and tell y'all
You've got
a
to.
lot of stuff.
We gotta have you back
A
on.
lot of stuff. A lot of stuff.
Maybe by the next time you do, I'll sing one of your songs.
There we go. Good idea.
That'd be a great goal. I mean, I would love that. That would be so much fun. And so today I'm going to sing a song by Pink. She's one of my favorite artists. I really don't have a favorite because there's several. It's hard to pick one. And this song is called Walk Me Home. Something in the way you roll your eyes takes me back to a better time when I thought everything was good, and now you're the only thing that's good. Trying to stand up on my own 2 feet. The conversation ain't coming easily, and darling, I know it's getting late. Why don't you say we leave this place? Walk me home in the dead of night. I can't be alone with all that's on my mind. Say you stay with me tonight, 'cause there is so much wrong going on outside. The way you wanna cry makes me think we'll make it out alive. And darling, I know it's getting late. Why don't you say we leave this place? Walk me home in the dead of night. I can't be alone with all that's on my mind. Say you stay with me tonight, 'cause there is so much wrong going on outside. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Home in the dead of night. I can't be alone with all that's on my mind. Say you stay with me tonight, 'cause there is so much wrong going on. Walk me home in the dead of night. I can't be alone with all that's on my mind. Say you stay with me tonight, 'cause there is so much wrong, so much wrong, so much wrong going on outside.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow.
Well, thank you for being on the show, and
thank
you
you.
definitely have to promise me you're going to come back.
I'm coming back. I'm going to tell it all.
Awesome. They're going to have a lot more things going on that we got to know about anyway. So I'll tell you what, you know where to follow. It's Emerald City.
EmeraldCityBand.com.
EmeraldCityBand.com for their next events, dates coming up.
Facebook, Instagram.
And if you haven't booked this band, you got to book this band. And I've seen some of the other bands, and they're all amazing because I know these guys strictly audition people that are really going to be great, and they are all equally as good as the other. I mean, I tell you what, I was really impressed by that. Because, you know, I'm like, I want to see these guys, but then I'm like, but these guys are good too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I thank you all for tuning in to Beauticians and Musicians, and we will be back the second week in September at Monday at noon. So tune in to my Facebook and my YouTube channel at So Very Christy, Kristi. We'll see you then.
Bye-bye.